Hi, I'm Dr. Lakshmi Ravishankar, and in this module, we'll be discussing about 2 plus 2 cycloadditions and 1,3-dipolar cycloaddition reactions. So, at the end of this module, the student should be in a position to write the product of a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction with the correct stereochemistry, identify a 1,3-dipolar cycloaddition, and given a 1,3-dipolar cycloadapt, they should be able to identify the 1,3-dipole and dipolarophile, which will give the desired product. So, as we saw in the previous module, a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition under superficial overlap is not allowed thermally. However, the same can take place under photochemical conditions. And why is it so? Under thermal conditions, the HOMO is my pi of one ethylene and the LUMO is the pi star of another ethylene. Now you see that there is no positive overlap here and the symmetries do not match. However, when you excite it, do the reaction under photochemical conditions, one of the electron is excited from HOMO to the LUMO. So now my HOMO is pi star, my LUMO is also pi star, and hence the reaction is favorable. As can be seen here, it is illustrated here. So this is my HOMO in the ground state. This is the LUMO in the ground state under thermal conditions. You see that while there is a symmetry match here, there is a mismatch here. So in order for a overlap to take place, one of the components has to approach it from the perpendicular approach, resulting in an antifacial overlap. So while supra-antra is symmetrically favored, the geometrical and steric constraints prevent such an overlap to take place, and hence supra-antra does not take place, and under thermal conditions 2 plus 2 cycloaddition is not favored. But under photochemical conditions, since one electron is excited from pi, which was the earlier HOMO, to pi star, which becomes my new HOMO, so now you see that both LUMO and HOMO are pi star, so there is a symmetry match, and hence superficial 2 pi s plus 2 pi s is easy to take place. So, normally conjugated alkenes are used for 2 plus 2 cycloaddition. The reason being these can absorb light, and so when you take this enone and irradiate it, it gets excited. It undergoes 2 plus 2 cycloaddition with another olefine and you get a cyclobutane derivative. Now one would wonder why the reverse reaction does not take place. The reason is this does not have any conjugation. So under the given conditions of irradiation, this will not be able to absorb light. Hence the reverse reaction is not favored, but the forward reaction is favored. The reaction is stereospecific, proceeding in such a way that the least hindered transition state is observed. It undergoes a facial attack like we had seen in the previous module, and the stereochemistry of the olefine is retained in the product. Coming to the regioselectivity, there are two possible regioisomers which are possible depending on which end of the olefine is attacking the alpha and the beta carbon of the enone. So if you see here, it is this less substituted carbon which is attacking the alpha carbon. Here it is the more substituted carbon which is attacking the alpha carbon. Conventionally, if you go by an ionic mechanism or a curly arrow type of reaction, you will find that this would be more favored because you will get a positive charge here and the tertiary carbocation is more stable. But under conditions of 2 plus 2 cycloaddition, it is observed that this is the major product. This is formed in very less amounts, and this has to do with the coefficients of the carbon orbitals which are participating in the reaction. We will not go into the details of that. Suffice to say that the product which is formed as a major product in such cases is the one which would be opposite to what is obtained if it were to proceed by a curly arrow controlled reaction. Some more examples of reactions of enones. Here it is 2 plus 2 cycloaddition with allenes. Here it is with acetylenes, giving rise to a cyclobutene derivative. The 2 plus 2 pi cycloaddition reactions have got a lot of synthetic applications, and they are very useful in the synthesis of fascinating molecules, some of which are shown here: baskettine, pentaprismane, bis-homohexaprismane. And you see in all these cases, a 2 plus 2 reaction cycloaddition plays a very, very crucial role. Now, while thermal 2 plus 2 cycloadditions of olefine is not favored because of geometrical and steric constraints of supra and antra overlap, if you have a ketene or an isocyanate, it is found that they undergo 2 plus 2 cycloaddition reactions even under thermal conditions. In the case of the former, with ketene you get cyclobutanone derivative. In the case of isocyanates, you get a beta-lactam derivative. And the reason for this is because we have an sp carbon atom in the ketene and in the isocyanate, resulting in an additional p orbital on the central carbon. The ketene and isocyanate are electrophilic and they have the low energy LUMO. Before we go into the orbital diagram, just some of the methods by which you can generate ketenes, and these ketenes are generated in situ in the flask, and once they are formed, they are immediately converted to further reaction conditions. So this is my orbital picture for the ketene and the olefin. So you see this is the HOMO of C double bond C. This is the LUMO of the ketene carbon. This is the sp carbon and this is the oxygen. Now you see here this is a bonding overlap, and here with respect to the olefin it is a supraficial overlap. Because of this pi bond the perpendicular approach is possible, and with respect to the ketene it is actually an antificial overlap. So in this case, because of this additional p orbital, the perpendicular approach is favored without having any geometrical constraints, and that is why the 2 plus 2 cycloaddition with ketene is favored. So some examples: you can convert a ketene to a lactone by treating it with a carbonyl compound. Two molecules of ketene can dimerize with the C double bond C of one undergoing 2 plus 2 with the C double bond C of the other to give me a cyclobutane dione derivative. Or you could have C double bond C of one ketene reacting with the C double bond O of another ketene in a 2 plus 2 fashion to give me a lactone. With an alkene, we have seen it gives me a cyclobutanone derivative. If you have an imine, it gives me a beta-lactam derivative. The stereoselectivity in 2 plus 2 ketene cycloaddition, this carbon is electron deficient. So when you treat it with an olefin, the electron rich center of the olefin is attached to this, and this is the major product that you would get. Thermal 2 plus 2 cycloaddition of ketenes have been used for synthesis of some very important synthetic precursors. If you take cyclopentadiene and treat it with a ketene, it undergoes a 2 plus 2 cycloaddition, gives me the cyclobutane dione derivative, butanone derivative, which can be further converted to this lactone, which is a very useful precursor for the synthesis of some naturally occurring compounds. Now, given a cyclobutanone derivative, is it possible for us to predict what would be the starting ketene and the olefin? Yes, it is possible. So if I have this cyclobutanone derivative, that is 2,3-dimethyl cyclobutanone, if I do a disconnection in this way, then this portion becomes my ketene and this portion becomes my olefin, as is shown here. If I do the disconnection this way, then this becomes my ketene and this becomes my olefin. Normally one would go by this because you can manipulate the stereochemistry, you can control the stereochemistry by varying the geometry of the olefin. Reaction of ketenes with enamines are also possible to give you this adduct. With imines, they give you a beta-lactam. Now, intramolecular 2 plus 2 cycloadditions involving ketenes is also possible, depending on which part of the olefin is substituted. Here you see that it is the terminal carbon which is substituted in this case. In this case, it is the second carbon. So if you have a substituted olefin like this and an intramolecular ketene cycloaddition were to take place, then the product is a bicyclo N20-alkanone. But if you have a substituted olefin like this and an intramolecular 2 plus 2 cycloaddition were to take place, then in this case you end up with a bicyclo N11-alkanone. So see the nature of the olefin, where the substituent is, and then accordingly you can decide what is going to be the product. Now we move on to 1,3-dipolar or 3 plus 2 cycloadditions. So what are 1,3 dipoles? They are basically dipolar compounds with delocalized electrons having a separation of charge over 3 atoms. These are some commonly used 1,3 dipoles. If you see, all of them have a resonance structure where you have a positive and a negative charge on the terminal atoms. The central atom is a heteroatom which has a lone pair, and these 1,3 dipolar reactions are very useful in the synthesis of 5-membered heterocyclic compounds. So if you see, this is my 1,3 dipole, and this has got 2 plus 2 electrons here. So this is a 4 electron system. This is a 2 pi electron system. So if you were to go in terms of the number of electrons, this is an example of a 4 pi plus 2 pi cycloaddition reaction, similar to your Diels-Alder reaction. However, in Diels-Alder you had 4 atoms and 2 atoms. Here you have only 3 atoms from the dipole and 2 atoms from the dipolariphile. So in terms of the number of atoms, this is called as a 3 plus 2 cycloaddition reaction. So this dipole, if you see, is a 3 atom system having 4 electrons. It is isoelectronic with the allyl anion. So the HOMO of the allyl anion, if you see, is going to be like this. This is my LUMO. So there is going to be a matching of symmetry and a positive suprafiscal overlap. Whether I take this as the HOMO and this as the LUMO, or the allyl anion as the LUMO and the olefin as the HOMO, the end result is going to be a favorable suprafiscal overlap. So again, if you see another example, this is the transition state, which is a cyclic 5-member transition state, which is not very polar, and hence it is not affected by solvent polarity. And in most cases, the reaction proceeds by a concerted 4 pi s plus 2 pi s cycloaddition reaction. Stereoselectivity is maintained. If I start with a cis olefin, say in this case cis-stilbene, which is cis 1,2-diphenylethene, you find that the stereochemistry of the orientation of the phenyl groups in the reactant olefin is maintained in the product. Similarly, if you take the trans-stilbene, the geometry is maintained in the product. Some more examples which exemplify that the geometry of the olefin, the substituents in the olefin, is retained in the product. So it is a syn addition with respect to the dipolariphile. Another example where you see that this is a cis geometry of the ester. Here also the syn addition is maintained, and you have another chiral center being formed here. So this chiral center, you can see there are both these diastereomers are possible. The regiochemistry, now you have a rich end and you have an electron deficient end in my dipole. So in the electron rich end of the dipole will obviously react with the electron deficient end of the dipolariphile. So you see that this will react with this carbon, and this is the electron rich end of the dipolariphile, which will react with the electron deficient end of the dipole. So the major product in this case is this. You're all familiar with the ozonolysis reaction, wherein you convert an alkene to a carbonyl compound by treating it with ozone. So basically, ozone is a dipole, and it undergoes the first step involved in the ozonolysis is a cycloaddition reaction, followed by a cycloreversion, where you have this bond is breaking and this bond also breaks. So you get these two. This is again a carbonyl compound. This is again a dipole. I could have a positive charge here and a negative charge here. So this is also a dipole, and this dipole undergoes a 1,3 dipolar cycloaddition again. So basically, ozonolysis involves a series of rapid cycloaddition and cycloreversion reactions, finally giving rise to the carbonyl compounds. So to summarize, 2 plus 2 cycloadditions of olefins are thermally allowed as supra-intra overlap, but they do not take place due to geometrical constraints. 2 plus 2 cycloaddition, however, can take place under photochemical conditions as a supra-supra or an antra-antra overlap. When you have ketenes or isocyanates which have a central sp carbon, you have 2 plus 2 cycloadditions taking place very easily under thermal conditions because of the perpendicular approach of one component over the other. 1,3 dipolar cycloadditions take place between a 1,3 dipole and a dipolariphile. 6 pi electrons are involved, 4 electrons from the dipole and 2 electrons from the dipolariphile. However, it is a 3 plus 2 cycloaddition because 3 atoms of dipole and 2 atoms of the dipolariphile combine together, and these reactions are very useful in the synthesis of 5-membered heterocyclic compounds. So this brings us to the end of cycloaddition, the module on cycloaddition. In the next module, we will be starting with sigmatropic rearrangements. Thank you.